Hey guys, Garage 79R. We're in the garage. Earl's in the garage. 4 doors next door. So I've got some exciting news. Got some brand new 200 treadwear track day tires on the car. And I went with the Federal 595 RS Pro. And so far, I've only driven 20 miles on them to break them in. They feel great. You know, they're a budget tire. I know they'll never compete with the high-end tires, but I'm not doing anything to compete on that level anyway. I'm out the track having fun, trying to beat up on cars with twice as much power. So they do run wide if you decide to go with Federals, which has kind of been a known thing with Federals, at least with their aggressive tires, is that they run a little wide for their size. And I got the 205 5015s, and they actually hit the rear quarter panels on full bump. So I only had that issue before with 225 Hoosiers. So anyway, I'm excited. Got the Fortune Autos on the car. Upgraded the bump stops. I went to Progressive Foam bump stops. There's many different reasons for upgrading your bump stops. Do a Google search of bump stop upgrades, whatnot. You'll find a few tech articles. They can really aid in the tuning of the car and how it performs, especially on a limit. I did it for two reasons. For the aiding on limit, also to actually take heavy bumps well. The Fortune Autos come with just these little rubber biscuits, these limiter biscuits, and I'll sprinkle those pictures in right now, and you'll see. I'm sorry, Fortune, but they were a joke. So I got these new foam ones from Feal Suspension out in California. They were very affordable. Got them in a week because I'm on the East Coast. Everything takes a week when you're on the East Coast, when you're ordering from the West Coast. And switched them out, and it's completely changed the car's behavior in heavy bump. There's a particular little stretch of road I like to use to set up dampening and just check how a car drives or takes bumps. And it's like a gap in a bridge or whatever, kind of in the middle of a corner. It's a low speed road. It's like a 30-mile-per-hour road. I usually like to try to take it about 40 just to have a little extra force. With the old biscuits, the car will basically rearrange your face, and actually it's not blind. You can see oncoming traffic. It would actually hop and jump into the other lane. And I've done it a few times just to verify it does it every time. It just basically loses composure and hops into the other lane. It's controllable enough because I guess it's a low enough speed, but it that can really make or break have an accident if you're driving on a back road aggressively, whatever. Especially if you're going around something with a blind turn, experience a bump and the car loses composure like that. So also, this car is actually kind of lightly sprung for what I intend to do it with. So with doing track day stuff with sticky tires, you definitely need more spring. You quickly pretty much run out of street spring, I should say. Since this car is dual purpose, I kind of have to find a happy middle because I still like to drive it on the street. I still like to enjoy it. And I drive it. I'll beat the nuts off it. All the time. Like I go anywhere with it. So I do have regular 14-inch tires, as you've probably seen in my other videos. On Cozy wheels, all my wheels for this car are Cozy K1TS. They're some of the lightest wheels you can get. They were affordable at the time. There's only a few wheels that are lighter, like the Enki RPF01, RPF01, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Which these pretty much mimic in terms of their styling. I don't think they're a blatant rip-off because they are a little bit different, but you can only style a wheel so many ways if you want strength and being lightweight. So anyway, I got these regular 14s for street, which is fine. That helps with the ride a little bit. But so with the taller bump stops, I installed them. Did the same road a few times again, and the car actually stays in its lane. It doesn't lose all composure. It doesn't rearrange my dental work. It you know you hit a bump. It's still a little car, it's still little tires, still performance suspension. You know you felt it. It's never going to be a Cadillac or 68 Lincoln. So, but it was much more composed. It was much more controllable, and very more. Now that I'm used to it, it's much more predictable because you don't have to worry about the car just hopping away. So, I'm extremely happy with the bump stop upgrade. Definitely look into that if you're into performance driving and whatnot. Check out your bump stops. See what you got. The aftermarket bump stops, can really pretty much make or break a car how it takes bumps. Just on that alone. Also, with me kind of being on the soft end of the spring spectrum, especially with sticky tires, it's a good way to start introducing more spring rate depending on how you set up the bump stops. Like with the rears, you see in the pictures, they're much taller, so they come in sooner and start adding spring rate, which should hopefully help the car rotate a little bit more. These cars are tail happy if you send it a little bit. If you go in to turn wrong, it will push. But if you kind of send it and fling it, if you kind of send it and fling it a little bit, it will wrap around on you. I think I did say in the last track video, I did lose it in this car with the old suspension, but that old suspension was just worn out. That was a whole mess. Erase, reboot. The car's a much better vehicle now. So definitely look into your bump stops and seeing if you could upgrade them. There's plenty of articles out there for them, especially if you drive something popular like Miatas. That's probably one of the most popular bump stop tech article cars. Is that English? I don't know, that makes sense. But most of the stuff I found about tuning and changing bump stops and whatnot was actually about like setting up Miatas. I guess because they're just so popular and that's just how it is. But a lot of the stuff for Miatas actually wouldn't work on this car anyways. That's why I had to do some digging, trying to find who made something that will work for me, and Feal did, because Feal does make coilovers. So it worked out. I'm happy with the car. So we got new rubber, did a performance alignment. I did it because I have that ability to go to my friend's shop and use the alignment machine. So it's got 3 degrees of camber up front. Also, the steering wheel is slightly crooked because I did the alignment, and I always seem to fuck that up no matter what. But car's ready, pretty much. Got Trackcross in less than 2 weeks. Basically, the only other things I'm going to change is I'm going to take the race seat out of the pink car, out of Floyd. Remember that car? If you're new to my channel, if you're really bored, go see that shenanigans. But I have a pink one of these, is 97. This is Earl's a 96, and it's gray. That's why it's called Earl Gray. Ha ha ha. My 97's pink. Call it Floyd. That car is in a whole nother direction right now. This is just a stock 5EFE. It's got an upgraded transmission with an LSD and coilovers, basically. That's all it's got going for it. I got a different muffler on. I got a Borla on there. It sounds nice. That's about it. Like, it's 90 horsepower and it blows smoke. So it's 90 horsepower of minimal mosquitoes. But it's great. It's a great beater. And so I want to change the bumpers. So the bumpers on Floyd are actually in worse shape than the ones on Earl. So I'm going to do the switcheroo, plus I'll get that front lip that I have on the other bumper. And the Carbo race seat is going to get swapped into this. And it might just stay, I think. I mean, I like the Paseo seat, but, now that I've upgraded my grip and all, I need more seat as well. So that's where I'm at. Eventually, I'm going to be building some more braces for it. So it has an Ultra Racing under brace right now, a 4-point. And I think I'm just going to replace that entirely with something a little bit different. And also, I want to set the car up I want to build a splitter for it. I think I'm ready to start playing with aerodynamic aids, beyond just an air dam. So that's where I'm at. When will that happen? I don't know. I'm broke. Got a million other things going on, trying to make it work. So luckily, plywood's pretty cheap. Steel's pretty cheap. I just got to have a little extra cash in my hand, a little extra time, and have at it. So look forward to the track video in a couple weeks if I don't die, and I'm excited to see what the car's going to do this time. And Tim, who beat me last time, I'm coming after you. You probably won't see this. I don't care. I'm coming after you. I'm sending all 90 horsepower up your... See ya.